Hello, my friends, beautiful sparkly pixels of light that you are, that I am, that we are. Thank you for joining me here now in this precious moment, in the now moment, which is the only thing that's ever real. And even that is an illusion of our ability to flow through time and space, this game of separation that we're playing. And I am curating visual content to communicate graphically and through video at some point, video animation, but starting graphically with 2D drawn images that represent 3D sometimes. I'm working to basically curate a collection of information, graphical and written, to communicate a lot of these ideas I've been sharing with you all in a very clear, concise, progression format. One of the things that I will be incorporating into this content really is guidelines for all of this sacred geometry drawing that can really activate a human mind in such amazing ways. I just really highly recommend anyone out there, if you're watching this and you feel drawn to this content, one of the key ways I've been able to just activate my own inner eye, my inner vision, to where I can see it and map it in my mind's eye now, to a degree that it really just strengthens that muscle. And practicing drawing curves freehand, and buying a nice little compass that I really like the Staedtler. I have tried a lot of them. There's a Staedtler one, Staedler. There might be a T in there, but I'm pretty sure it's Staedler. It's navy blue. I'll show it to you all sometime. I've tried several and then do have one that I prefer, but whatever you can find that works. Connecting these spheres again, really I just come to this, for me, it's just the way I see it fundamentally. The sphere is the concept of separation, and just the mere creation of one concept of a sphere, basically the thought from this one infinite consciousness that is love, that is bliss, that is pure I am, I exist. But it's all peace, it's all love, and there is nothing to play with like this. So we this one consciousness creates this game, separation, through the concept of a sphere. And that it's all the spheres fractal out from just the one sphere, but that this one consciousness can peer through from the center of that mirror sphere that is going to reflect some light, and then some light is going to bounce off, but that it's not just one sphere, it's like infinite spheres that are nested within one another at golden ratio in our universe, starting at Planck, but you could have infinite universes overlaid with just varying degrees of Planck, because that is just it's just a name giving credit to the person that discovered it, to our awareness. It may have been discovered in ancient times, who knows, but as a radiation of light over a period of time. So like, for example, joule seconds is the key way that Planck is expressed, the constant for our universe, that is the smallest unit measurement of time, of space, of weight, of energy, but fundamentally it's a measurement of a radiation of light over a period of time. So and Planck time being basically, if you have 1 unit of Planck time and you have a particle of light traveling at just what is sort of the default rate of speed of light in our universe, there's speed of light can change. It's actually been slowed down to go as slow as a bicycle. I think that was a Dutch woman physicist. I got to pull up her name again. I couldn't figure out how to pronounce it, but her work was fascinating. They were using lasers to slow down light, passing the light through a variety of arrays of lasers. I think the lasers were in phase conjugate, perhaps formation. I'd like to look into her work more to see how those lasers exactly were aligned. But if you want to look at the 186,000 miles per second sort of base, sort of kind of default rate of light, speed of light in our universe, that like one particle of light would then travel 1 unit of Planck time in 1 unit of Planck space after 1 unit of Planck time had passed. So it's sort of like this frame rate, and looking at many worlds interpretation, how these are these patterns of gravity waves that shift. And this is the science sort of behind manifestation, of like attracting in the reality that you want, knowing you're just attracting different frames to fly over your 1 pixel perspective of, you know, the infinite consciousness, pretending to be infinite tiny perspectives. And each of us sort of has been gifted one to share with that infinite consciousness. So lots of fun, beautiful things. The work is progressing at faster than the speed of light, it feels. My visions are coming through faster than I can get them out to draw them. That's why I feel called to teach and share more, because I want to be able to share these beautiful visions with more people, and other people can share theirs with mine, and we see how we're all seeing the same thing, really. You could consider this remote viewing. It's very much, you know, science in a lot of ways, and how we go about that remote viewing. Are we using instruments to try to do it, or are we using our own consciousness? And for me, mapping the sacred geometry, I realize I haven't shown you all that visual, and I don't have it with me, but mapping the lattice works of the platonic solids that are all embedded with one another, and that themselves are expanding out at golden ratio intervals infinitely, and then likely looping back around, but it's not then a fixed loop. It can expand and contract anywhere, any which way it wants, whenever it wants. That's how fractals work. If you've ever seen Mandelbrot, you zoom in and it just keeps expanding. So it's all relative. Size is all relative. That's why when we look at these patterns that I'm speaking of, you know, starting in our universe at Planck and then radiating outward at golden ratio intervals, but yet if you picture an ocean of Planck pixels and every one has its own nesting pattern expanding to the edge of the universe, you see that this is a very tightly woven, intricate framework. And I feel like where you are in that framework, it's like you could map time and space coordinates along frameworks where time and space were mapped with Planck time and Planck length at golden ratio intervals, which is exactly what Dan Winner's Planck-Farrer formula shows and communicates so very precisely and clearly. And that's, I plan to have that in the curriculum that I'm going to be mapping out very shortly. Located a space I'm very hopeful about. And so yeah, having visuals, having the written description, but keeping it very clear and concise. I really want this to be learnable for children and to really ignite the child learner in all of us. Okay, I wanted to show this to you all. This is a graphic. I just like sitting down and sometimes seeing what comes through, and this was one of those cases. And it's yeah, different people see different things and it's evolving, but I've in particular been enjoying the lightning, connecting the lightning to the peaks. Is this sort of thing. It's you're sort of working with elements. I love drawing nature with you know, the trees and the water and the mountains, and you know, so it's rock and the lightning bringing in that fire, and then of course the egg here, and actually the egg in relation to the sphere, and how, because an egg is golden ratio to a sphere. And then this being sort of water of life, perhaps. I just love the waterfalls always, and spiky mountain peaks have been my favorite for a while. Just like very jagged peaks. I mean, I love all mountains. How can you not? They're all beautiful in their own way, but for whatever reason, those spiky, jagged peaks. So yeah, what hobbies do you all enjoy that you maybe are ready to pick back up again? And I'm headed off to find a warm drink and a nook to perhaps continue this art. Now that I'm showing it to you all, that will help. That tends to help motivate continued creation. So I hope you all can share your creations. Yeah, feel free to reach out in the comments. I'll try to include my email because I really am looking for collaborators at this moment on a variety of levels. Animators, visual, computer graphic animators, scientists, people that are already in these scientific fields, chemistry, math, physics, or you're just super passionate and you want to be part of it and you've always loved that kind of thing, but you were waiting for this, like me. I was waiting to find this, or I was trying to find this, because I felt like the traditional track was about making a lot of money and status, and I didn't really care about that stuff. So for me, finding this science and math and physics, this new physics, as I just read someone titling it, which you could also call the new ancient physics. It's probably both, for sure. Anyway, so I'll leave you all with that, but I will put my email out looking for people who want to support this in whatever way they feel called to. But there are definitely key individuals that I'm hoping to partner with. Ultimately, there will be a consultancy as well to advise industry leaders and how they can incorporate some of the science into their materials engineering, into their fabric weaving, into building principles, to know how to create, clothing that better nourishes life force, and how can we build buildings that better nourish life force. And we have tools already to measure these types of things. So it's just a matter of starting to, educate mainstream people more on this beautiful information. It's just sharing truth with one another. So, all right, sending lots of love to you all. Hope that your day or evening or afternoon or your rising is just sparkly and full of just whatever delightfulness you choose and want for yourself. But also hoping that we can all have that adequate peace within, and just remember that it's always there waiting. Anytime we need to just feel at peace, we can just go in our heart, that home location of the tip of our focused consciousness vortex. We can anchor it in that home location, because that is the source portal that this whole holographic projection is coming through. In a moment of Planck time and then another moment of Planck time, it's a new set of gravity waves. It's a new holographic projection. And so we pull in the holographic projection based on the sum total of our thoughts and beliefs and feelings. So when we adjust, again, what we take into our consciousness, we can pull the desired holographic frames over our consciousness to create this illusion of separation, this game we're playing, but knowing it's fundamentally all peaceful, bliss, love, unconditional love, oneness, pure I am consciousness. And that's always there waiting in our heart to access it. So, okay, so much love to you all. Thank you for being here now, and we'll talk soon. Take care.